Hey, welcome to another episode of Doujin Drops. My name is Jay, and I'm joined here with my co-host T.
Hello there, hello.
Yeah, and I mean, really, a lot of interesting stuff happened over the weekend. I know we started off with I think last weekend was the first episode of Jahy-sama. Can't be defeated.
That was some good stuff. Good stuff. Animation was a bit rough, but still good stuff. I enjoyed
Yeah, I
it.
mean, I think you mentioned it before. Maybe it's just a sacrifice needed for it to have more than 20, more than 12, 13 episodes.
Yeah, but
Which I don't mind.
it's a small price to pay for salvation. I enjoy this. I mean, think of it, man. Nagatoro had like some okay animation, but look at this, man. It's getting a season 2. Let's go. So can't really be mad about that.
Yeah, I mean it's not like it has the animation of what do they call it? Way of the House Husband. No, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I feel like they should have like at least just give it normal animation, like gave more episodes, but they didn't.
Yeah, or the Samurai Girls anime. I hated that one. Yeah, but on more, I guess, serious note, I know a lot of it's been the talk of the town, pretty much of the YouTube community over the past week when Apple dropped that announcement of their quote unquote news child endangerment protection policy that they have now, where they're pretty much just gonna scan everyone's fucking phones for pictures and stuff, which I feel like it's a noble thing for them to do.
Yeah, because like they're doing it for a good cause. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that stuff going around. I know, especially like in forums and obscure messengers. There's a lot of like really illegal stuff going on.
Yeah, very illegal stuff in terms of like CP stuff, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, right, and it's I feel like it's noble. I just don't think they're doing it the right way.
Yeah, you think they're going the wrong way. You think they could have done it in a better way.
Well, it's not just that. I just feel like Apple kind of shot itself in the foot with this, because I was actually like, I'm more of an Android person, so I'm a little bit more biased towards them. But over the recent years, like after everything that Apple's been doing, like over Android, I was actually starting to look up more to them, because what I like about Apple is they're more of a hardware seller. They're starting to become more of a software seller just based on their services. Apple Music and Apple News. They're starting to, and the App Store. I'm pretty sure that's where they get most of the revenue now, instead of hardware sales.
Yeah.
So they're starting to become more of a software company, and I like the ecosystem that they have. I think probably what impressed me the most was their privacy. Their privacy policy, I guess you could say.
Basically, they go full ham when it comes to the privacy. Because like I remember a story like back in the day. This was like a couple years back, where police arrested this dude, right? And like the one of the break in the case or evidence, right, they needed was on the the guy's iPhone, right, or some shit like that, right? And they couldn't unlock it, right? They couldn't unlock it, so they asked Apple. They asked Apple, hey, can you unlock this? This is for a law enforcement investigation. And Apple's all like, nah, we can't do that, man. It violates our privacy policy. And the police are like, are you serious right now? He's like, yeah, we're serious. And Apple stood their ground. Which, like, at the same time, you would think that, hey...
Well, I actually respected them over that, because Google, a.k.a., the maker of Android, is taking a different approach. They're less privacy-centric. They're more for advertisers. Because I know... Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just
sorry. I was actually fixing to derail the conversation.
No. Go ahead. No, that was it.
Oh shit! All right. Well, maybe we can cut this part out.
No, we could just leave it in.
Yeah.
Woo! Let's go.
Yeah. Well, what I liked that they were doing, I think one of the most recent thing that made me pretty much see them in a better light is when they did their. I know Google and Android, they like to collect data, like that's their thing, like, because Google is more of a advertising company than a search engine software. They're getting more into the cloud business, but first and foremost, they're more of an advertising company, so naturally their products are very advertiser friendly. Like it's hard to opt out of apps tracking your data and using your data for certain stuff. It's very hard for them to do that. And what I like is that Apple went ahead and said, you know what? Every app is going to have to ask you that question. Do you want us to collect your private information?
I think
yes or no?
I think a lot of apps or companies do that in general, but I think it's just Google has
Apple gave you protection against that. It's something that I'm pretty sure Google will never do.
Yeah, because I think that even though if Google says, "Hey, you want to opt out of this?" You're like, "Yeah, I'll opt out of it." But like in the thin baby lines, a little tiny crack in the dirt, they're like, "Hey, you didn't opt out of this though." But isn't there in the secret, secretly? And you're like, "Whoa."
Yeah, like you might opt out for like in one app, but maybe in another app they don't even ask you that question. They just still collect the information. Like I know Amazon's very infamous for that.
Yeah. And the thing is, like with all of this being said, right? With Apple basically going down they're like the privacy route. There is a noble cause, but I think they're going like we said earlier, they're going about it the wrong way. Because yes,
it's that. It also goes back to what I mentioned, that they shot themselves in the foot, because after everything we talked about, they go ahead and do this. Hey, we're just gonna search everyone's phones for pictures, illegal.
Yeah, like the thing, and other people will argue that, hey, if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be worried. But it's like that's not the point here. The point is like they're just like mass scanning every phone, just photo library, video library, just note like everything in general. They're like, hey, let's see if this guy has any CP or lolly shit, right? And you're thinking, you're like, it is a noble cause, but like you're kind of like being intrusive here, to where like, you're kind of just. Like
it's
this,
not even just being intrusive, it's also very open to abuse.
Yeah,
like maybe somebody just doesn't like you. I know I see it in the YouTube comment sections a lot when people talk about this, but maybe somebody just doesn't like you. They hack your phone, they put some CP stuff or lolly shit in there, and you get flagged for that. Essentially, Apple is pretty much just labeling people pedophiles, or like, hey, this guy has been flagged for having illegal stuff, and then the cops just come after you. And if you get branded a pedophile in real life, it does not go away. That's a very serious accusation.
And the thing is the AI stuff is kind of like, it's not, let's be honest here, it's not foolproof, right? Foolproof. So sometimes things that like, dude, you could maybe have like a picture of your kid, like maybe like you guys went to the water park, you guys took pictures of it together, right? Or you guys at the arcade. The AI might be like, whoa there, buckaroo, no, none of that. That's some CP stuff over there. You're like, this is my daughter, or some shit like that, right? It could be like that. Or like, I think Apple might find ways to combat that. But the AI at the end of the day is not like foolproof or like, infallible, right? So the thing is, I
think AI technology is still at its infancy. It's getting up there. It's way better than it was when it was first introduced. With the I guess I would say the first AI that I ever encountered would be Siri, when the Apple 4S came out. I mean, the S stood for Siri. Yeah, like we've come a long ways from that, but I still don't think it's like you said, foolproof. It's not perfected.
I mean, if you think about
its infancy.
If you think about it, they do have like AIs out there, like that automatically clean like floors and flip burgers and stuff like that. But that's kind of like simple things, right? But the thing is, like with this privacy thing, like I'm kind of worried about the people who just watch anime, watch hentai, read hentai manga or manhwas, right? Or maybe even watch some. What else is there at anime, right? Like, there may be some spicy stuff in the things they watch, right? And like the AI might not think that. They're like, whoa, this is too spicy. You're like, whoa, hold on, man, it's just a fight scene. You're like, that don't look like fighting to me, boyo. Zuckhammer. You're like, oh god, can we say Zuckhammer?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much publishing this just on YouTube.
No, but no, I mean, like, since Facebook and then Facebook, YouTube are different, but like I'll just use Zuck. Everyone just remember that Zuckerberg, right? It's like for Zuckerberg, but like Zuckhammer, yeah, because like Mark Zuckerberg had a crusade against like lewd stuff or just like anything that didn't follow their policies on Facebook one time, and then they kind of Zuckhammered everyone. But people found
they kind of took the Tumblr route.
Yeah,
it's almost looking.
But yeah, that's just a little information of like why I said Zucked. But anyways, people might. I don't know, man. When people watch the porn, they might be like watching some like some hard shit. You know, they might be like, you know, a Randy Marsh from South Park. You know, they might be watching some like, you know, very
Backdoor
very
Sluts 5 or something.
Backdoor
like that.
Sluts 5, or like, you know, I don't know, man, like Brazilian fart porn or some shit. Like, I don't know, man. Like, they might be watching some racy shit. Like you said, man, maybe a hacker gets some of their stuff, or maybe, you know, AI's all like, what is this degenerate shit? And you're like, well, man, I was just horny that day, and like, no, and you know, oh, zuck.
Yeah, and like I think it's gonna be kind of hard to like fight. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a option for you to contact Apple and, you know, tell them, hey, you wrongly accused me of this. Can you please remove that? But if it's like public information, or like the cops start investigating and it's all over the local news, like it's kind of hard to erase that. And I am assuming eventually somebody is gonna get falsely accused of that, and, you know, they might do a lawsuit. I feel a lawsuit coming from that, from all of this.
But like,
I mean, in fact, it's so worrying that even Edward Snowden, you know, the NSA leaker, pretty much said, "Hey, that's kind of some scary shit right there."
Yeah, some
like,
scary
Apple
shit.
should probably stop doing that. And I mean, I'm under the no impression that we have privacy. Like, I'm pretty sure there's companies and software developers that look through our stuff.
But Jay, the thing is, man, is that with the privacy thing, right? Let's be honest here, man. All governments around the world, right? Even our government, right?
Yeah, it's
the
like
U.S.
the fucking government's wet dream to know exactly where the fuck.
I mean, they're already tracking our information. You know, they're just not telling us.
Like,
So, like, at the end of the day, not all of our stuff is private, but like, you know, we like to think it is.
This. Yeah, we all knew this until, like, we all low key knew this was happening until Edward Snowden pretty much confirmed it. But it's just like I'm under no, you know, foolish assumption that that Apple has everyone's information privately kept and nobody looks at it. You know, I'm under not that impression, but it's kind of scary that companies are coming out and now, you know, admitting, hey, we're gonna be looking through your shit.
Yeah. You think, like, with this, if, like, the thing is, like, people are they're seeing this as news and they're like, it's whatever, right? And they kind of sweep it under the rug, right? But I feel like if they keep on doing that, maybe other companies might follow suit, right? Like maybe Google and freaking Samsung, right, and everything else, right? They just follow suit with this policy, right? And it snowballs into something bigger. And by the time it gets big and everyone notices it, it's too late. They're like, oh no, the Mickey Mouse rulers, no. They're like, oh, you thought wrong, young Padawan.
Yeah, eventually they're not just gonna be looking for, you know, CP or like really like bad stuff, like illegal stuff. Eventually they're gonna be like, oh well, now we're gonna be scanning for, who knows, maybe hardcore shit, like maybe we're just gonna be going after people that watch pornography. Maybe we're gonna go after people that watch hentai.
They could be like, oh look, Jay has like 50 photos of like girls eating French fries and, like, you know, eating food sexually. Oh, he must like cheeseburgers. And hey Jay, here's like 50 advertisements for like these random hamburger places that around where you live. You're like, what the fuck? Well, I don't want this. Why did I get this? I'm like, it's probably Jay. You have all those photos of like cheeseburger eating, thoughts on your phone. It's like, this is art. Why? Oh, yeah, privacy. Oh,
fuck, man. Like, you didn't have to throw me like that. But,
I mean, you could throw me under the bus.
But I mean, yeah, and then eventually they might just start coming after, like, you know, it's just gonna snowball. Maybe it's just they're gonna start going after people that, you know, maybe have different political differences. We're not going to get into that. That's outside the scope of this channel. Or, you know, they're just going to be looking at, hey, let's see what Jay's, I guess, opinions are on this. And, you know, it might be an unpopular opinion and, you know, I might get crucified all night or something. You know, I think one that I can think of, and, you know, I'm actually okay with saying is, I actually like the Enclave from Fallout. I know that's a very unpopular opinion because, you know, a lot of people are like, the Enclave are evil, but I mean, so is the Brotherhood of Steel. They're not the heroes that people like.
The Brotherhood of Steel are dicks.
Yeah, they're fucking dicks. I mean, maybe not the DC chapter, but the West Coast chapter, the fucking Boston chapter, they're all fucking dicks. And I mean, if I was a vault dweller and I come out and I see that fucked up, you know, how fucked up the wasteland is, I joined the Enclave.
See, I'm going to say something controversial. I'm going to say something controversial too. I like pineapple on my pizza. And Futaba from Persona 5 is not a good wife. And you're going to hear like, oh, this is so controversial. Oh, hang him. Witch hunt him.
Yep. I mean, and I just feel like eventually that's the world we're heading. I mean, that's just step one.
Yeah, but like conspiracy theories aside, like I think that people should take this more seriously though. Like just say, hey, this is kind of sus, boyos.
Yeah, like it was all over the news, and I think people are talking about it, and so I feel like people are taking it seriously. I just hope it doesn't. People just don't take it seriously for a week, and then the next week we forget about it.
Well, if you think about it, none of our friends are talking about it as the thing. It's kind of like on the hush hush.
Yeah,
like they might
maybe because they just see Apple's going after, they see probably headlines like misleading headlines like Apple's going after people with, CP and this type of stuff, and they're like, well, I don't have that, so I don't gotta worry about it. They don't really look at the big picture. The
big boy picture, the big skyscraper on the horizon. They don't look at that. They look at that tiny run down, decrepit, like a fish and chips place. They're like, oh, this don't bother me.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, but like I feel people should pay attention to it because like it could like we just mentioned, it could snowball like into a bigger thing, and that's when shit gets too late, and we got like we got like the Disney Empire attacking us. I mean like jokingly, of course. Other than that, what do you got, Jay?
I mean, I really don't have much to say after that. I mean, that's really our big talking point of this podcast. Other than going back to what we said, I mean, how do you feel about the new Jahy-sama episode?
It didn't come out yet.
What I mean by that, episode 1, I mean at the time of this recording, I think episode 1 is still out.
Yeah, only episode 1 is out at the time of this recording. Episode 2, I don't see it anywhere at all. But so far, episode 1, very nice. Like I told you, everyone, the animation is not what you expect, but hey, we're getting 20 plus episodes, so we got that. Is that, and it's it's very, very accurate to the manga, at least in my eyes, and like even if it's not, it's still freaking nice. At least it got anime. It's nice. Characters are nice. Their voice very great too. I think the voice actress for Jahy-sama. Let me see first. Let me look this up. I think it's someone that we know does the crazy voices, or like wah voices. Let me see this. Jahy-sama.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Jahy-sama too. I'm like, I just feel like it's kind of sad there's not that many people talking about it. I know on Reddit a lot of people are making memes, but I haven't really seen much people on YouTube talk about it.
I mean, like, if you think about it, it's kind of like one of those, like, under the radar type of things. I mean, like, it's kind of like, it's almost like Nagatoro. So Nagatoro has, like, a, crap ton of memes, right? And, like, the manga is actually pretty good. But it's just that it's not under a lot of people's radars. They're just kind of like, they don't really, maybe they're not really into it.
I feel like it's only because the 5th season of My Hero Academia was out around the same time that Nagatoro came out, but I feel like Nagatoro was more, popular enough to, like, a lot of people talked about it. I wouldn't really say it's under the radar.
Okay. Whoa, hell, hold on there, boyo. Did you know that, let me see, it says, that, what is it? The voice actress for Jahy-sama, right, is also the voice actress for Hana Uzaki, from Uzaki-chan.
Oh, that's probably where I remember her voice.
And I'm all like, wow. I mean, but it fits though. It fits. She went from a big busty, college chick to this. What else did she do? To be honest, I know she did more. Because I remember like scrolling through the forums and then Facebook that this voice actress MC's. Oh, there it is. There you go. What if I also said that Jahy-sama also voiced Centania from Gabriel Dropout?
Ooh,
I know.
That's actually a pretty interesting.
That's some spicy shit right there. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I actually really like Centania. Liked all the memes they made about her.
So we're getting some good stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess another thing we can talk about is Dragon Maid finally got their dub.
Yeah, if Dragon Maid finally got their dub, and like Funimation came down and dropped in and said, hey, we're dropping down here, we're just getting their dub. If you guys are into that, right? We don't judge you guys who watch dub or stuff. We don't care. As long as you're happy watching it.
Yeah, I just feel like Dragon Maid had one of those really good dubs that's worth listening, worth watching. I just don't like how we're already 5 episodes in, and they just now, they finally came out with a dub. I'm like, so they're 5 episodes behind. I wish it was a simultaneous release like they did with My Hero Academia.
But let's be honest here, man. Like Dragon Maid, even though it's like people know about Dragon Maid, is not like shonen like. It's not a Jujutsu Kaisen or not like My Hero Academia.
No, it's a slice of life. It's a
slice of life. People are slice of life is kind of like its own thing.
It's up there, but it's not mainstream. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, basically. And but yeah, dude, it's finally getting us up. Sarah Windenhef is like starring as Toru, and everyone else in there is all the other voice actors are like and actors are repressing their roles. So I'm like, yeah, that's good. So anyone
what was her career? I remember you told me when the dubbed for season 1 came out that Sarah Windenhef was still kind of like a rookie, which surprised you a lot because Funimation is known for just recycling talent.
Yeah, that's what like Funimation has been doing. It kind of sucks, but overall, Funimation or like just dubbing companies in general have like been getting better in terms of just dubbing their stuff, right? So now I'm all like, that's nice. They're getting out that hole of just recycling their voice actors and actors. I mean, they still kind of do it, right? But at least they're branching out more. Sarah Windenhef was like, she has one of those distinct voices. You're like, I like it. And also I also realized that Sarah Windenhef was also in Honey Pop, and I was like, wow, that's surprising. Honey Pop 1 and 2, to be honest, I think. Yeah, but anyone who does
I know you were really into that game.
Well, Honey Pop 1 was great. Honey Pop 2 was like, alright. But like anyone who does enjoy dubs, well, Dragon Maid season 2 is getting a dub. Like it may not come out as fast as the season as the sub, but like hey, you got it, and and it's a good dub. It's just like Jay, I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but have you ever watched? Okay, you watched Horror Mia, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, like the horror.
I think I dropped it after episode 6 or 7, but yeah, I watched it.
See, but the thing is, like Horror Mia also had a dub, and you're like, well, wow. Like the thing is, like it's one of those animes that you would think, you wouldn't think would get a dub, right? But it got a dub, right? And the thing is, the dub is actually really good, really nice, really good, right? And the main concern that everyone has is that Hori-san, right, the main chick, her voice is deeper than usual. Like in the sub is like kind of slightly more high pitched, right? Well, in the dub is slightly deeper. But the thing is, like some people in the comments actually like praise that because some girls that are like in their teenage years, right, they have a slightly deeper voice than usual, right? Or they have that odd voice.
I think most girls have like a deeper, mature voice rather than a high pitched, lolly.
So that's why. So that's why they praise the dub. It's like, hey, I'm actually glad we're getting this representation, or like getting that. But a lot of sub user or sub watchers are like, ugh, get this trash away from me. She does not sound like Hori. But I'm like, I mean, you can't please everyone, man. But like overall, though, the Horror Mia dub, nice, and the Kaguya-sama Love Is War. Oh, that's like crack to me, boyos. It's like I have a mountain of Kool-Aid, a mountain of like purple Kool-Aid, like powder all over my desk, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's some good shit. Oh, that's that dub right there is crack, and it's amazing.
Oh man, no, for me the dub that was crack to me was the Hyperdimension Neptunia animation, the anime.
I know. By the way,
that was fucking legendary.
By the way, with that crack, did they ever dub the OVA? I never looked into it.
No, they never did. I mean, it's just an OVA, and I think it just came out in Japan, and it never really showed up in the West. Because I know Funimation has the rights to the series, but they never dropped it.
Yeah. Also, boys, I just not sniffed like. I legitimately did not just sniff like an entire like line of like Kool-Aid or anything. That was just acting. Please don't imagine your boy T just like sniffing like a Kool-Aid packets on the daily. But yeah, like the thing is with the OVA, I didn't watch it yet, but like I still want a season 2. But like if you think about it, they haven't had a big release in terms of games, right? For like the Hyperdimension Neptunia series in general. I mean, they did release some games, but they weren't anything major,
But other than that, I mean, I guess do you have anything else to add about before, or do you want to just wrap up everything?
I think that's about it, man. That's all I had to talk about. Just the privacy issue with Apple, and then just some Jahy-sama and stuff like that. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, not much, and not much news in terms of anime, or not much interesting thing other than Jahy-sama and the dub for Dragon Maid. That was for me noteworthy. But I know that Apple thing was pretty big because, like I said, man, I looked up to, I was starting to look up to them, and in fact, don't really tell anybody. I was actually kind of like thinking about buying an iPhone because just for all the privacy settings that they have.
Yeah,
I'm a very privacy focused person. But yeah, nah. After these news drops, I'm like, well, I guess I shouldn't have hyped myself up.
Look, listen. All we have is time on our side, and remember, man, like one of our friends said, it could go either way.
Don't.
All right, though.
Anyways, I guess I'm Jay and
I'm T. We're signing off.